It's a short מאמר, Pinchas Pinchas, מברך מחידש, מנחם-אב, תשכ"ה. וידבר Rabbi על Moishe the neighbor spoke to Moishe saying, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron, and so Pinchas, the son of Elazar ben Aaron, Hishvus Chamosim Mal Bnei Yisrael, he removed my anger from Eden, the Kandis Kinose, by what's the English, how to translate in English, by
taking a vengeance,
being zealous, better, kina. That's the comma is vengeance, but kina is zealousness. He was zealous for my zealousness. He took up my case, my name. Admo Marash explains that you have to understand what it says in Svarim. What are the Svarim? The Svarim are the Zohar. Pinchas Gilgul Noda Ve'Aviyah. So Pinchas is a reincarnation of Aaron's sons, Noda ve'Aviyah. Kinas Zimri, and by addressing, and acting zealously with Zimri, Tikin Chet Noda ve'Aviyah. So now Pinchas fixes his own sin, because he's a reincarnation of Noda ve'Aviyah. That's interesting, but he's a reincarnation of two people. It's not such a big question, because there are neshamas are interconnected, and there's impregnated neshamas and sister neshamas. It's all because at the core we're one, so it manifests in all kinds of relationships. DNA. So you have to understand the shayla. What's the question? What was their sin? That they approached Hashem and they expired. It was just desire for attachment, for union. The loy shuv, but they lacked the shuv, the return, and the engagement in the world. And their souls expired out of the body, mamash, literally. That's what they did. That was their sin. So when you move on after that Marash, echtik in Pinchas had kina Zimri. How did Pinchas fix it? By killing Zimri. Pinchas is ready to be killed for it. The tribes were actually stopping him from going to the tent, and they wanted to kill him, and he was ready to die. So he himself is doing it. So here is the same thing. You're fixing Nadav and Avi, you're doing the same thing. This is a one-way trip, but without shuv. That's number one. We have to understand what was their sin. They had desire and sacrifice. The matter is wondrous. What's wrong with that? Why is it a sin? We know the greatness of Mesiras Nefesh. It says in Zohar, when a person says echad, it's going to be able to give his life up for God. It's a very lofty avodah. Higher than actual Torah mitzvahs. The Gemara says in Barachas, why the parsha Shema precede? To the parsha of Hayim Shemaya, which is in Parshas Ekev, this Parshas Veschanan, because first the person should accept the yoke of heaven. So we see that then you accept the yoke of mitzvahs. So we see what is high. The yoke of heaven is higher than Torah mitzvahs. The echad, the limsa nafshe be'echad. So what's the chet? Furthermore, Gam Masha Kosev b'Magid Mishorim. Yosef wrote this. This is things that the Magid, which is like a malach, neshama, taught him. Shamagid iftiach lebes Yosef. So he writes that the Magid, the Magid, the preacher, the spiritual preacher, came to him, told him sheyiske he will merit that he will be put on the pyre, literally go up, die for the sanctification of God's name. Because of a certain event, he was not Zeicher. Now, once, remember, the Rebbe said that what did he go on to write? The Shulchan Aruch. And yet we see from here that that's wonderful, but it was not Zeicher to Kiddush Hashem, Siddur Nefesh. So it's high, even in Torah, in the Shulchan Aruch, they went on to write. Literally on the altar. Al Kedushas Hashem, Al Kedushas Shmeirabu, Bedukras Hashem. So him being promised that he will be an offering, and literally on the altar, Al Kedushas Hashem, that's similar to Nadav and Avihu, that it says, Vateitze Eis Mifnei Hashem, a fire went out like it did for the Karbanos and consumed them. Like Korban. He was going to be a Korban. And that was a great reward. And he wasn't Zeicher to it. If he came, I'd do it, so not a Vaviyo. So why is it not a Vaviyo? And that they did reach that level, that's a sin. And then Shutzach L'Tikon, they Pinchas has to fix it. Yeah, let's do that a little bit further. Questions clear, so let's review the questions. First of all, what's the first question, friends? How is Pinchas fixing Nadav and Avihu? When? What? Did the same thing? Siddur Nefesh. And then he asked Bachlal, what's the chet of Nadav and Avihu? It's the highest Avodah. It's higher than Torah mitzvahs. That's why Shema precedes Vayam Shemaya, which talks about the observance of mitzvahs, and the story with the Bes Yosef, that he wasn't zeicher to Kiddush Hashem.
That's interesting because in the first in the first question, or at the end of the first question, they mentioned that it's Ratzei L'Lo Shuv. So, I mean that we know that Ratzei without Shuv is the problem, right?
What are you saying? Pinchas is guilty of the same thing. He is Ratzei without Shuv.
Right. That's what not in the view. So where does the question come? If we already said it's Ratzei L'Lo Shuv, now why do we have the question that what's the problem with it? It's Ratzei L'Lo Shuv. That is the problem with it. But I guess we'll see.
Okay, listen, we're revisiting.
Yeah, that's the first one. Right.
The Maamar is revisiting from the very beginning the whole thing of Shuv, which is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Mistamer. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's what it should be a question for us.
It's counterintuitive because we bury it when we tell the story. When we talk about Nadav and Avihu, we talk about them being holy men. We do talk about them being holy men, but ultimately what we talk about is that they died because of an affair.
Right. Now he's asking why, because he's asking at a foundational level. Surely the whole kavanah is total sacrifice to God. And when given that opportunity, it's the ultimate. And that's what they did. And we should have that question all the time because we should be resisting. We should be resisting going out there in the world. Not because, who wants to work, but because the whole Elam Hazeh should be foreign. So the question is like a perennial question. And we should have the question. If we're comfortable with what's the question, let's go out the world. We get comfortable with that, then we missed it. We've got to be constantly not comfortable. And do it mitzad Kabbalah. Sure, the Eibishter wants, but because you want, okay, but so Eis Beis. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll do Eis Beis tomorrow. We'll finish